Hi, Sandra. Thank you so much for helping my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, I'm Sandra. I'm from Germany, and I'm 34 years old. Sorry. And I love my little family and my husband and my 3-year-old toddler. Yes, and I love Star Trek. And I work at financial accounting.
Wow. So what got you into space?
Um, Star Trek?
Which of the Star Treks is your favorite?
Oh, the Next Generation is the first one I watched, so it's always in my heart. But the best one is Deep Space Nine, in my opinion.
That's interesting. Next Generation is also my favorite. It came out whenever I was in high school, I think, and so that's what me and my friends watched. But I've watched Deep Space Nine too. But why is it your favorite, or why do you think it's the best? I guess.
The characters are more complex, and the story is. I don't know the English word, but it catch me more. So don't I want watch more and more and more. And in TNG you can watch one episode and then you take a pause. And Deep Space Nine catched me.
I see. So like the storylines are more connected. It's like each episode is not like so standalone. If you
Yes,
watch one, then there's like parts of it that are still continuing on to the next.
but Deep Space Nine is both. You can watch them alone, but also it's a piece of the whole thing.
I'll have to take another look at it.
Yeah, you should.
So did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts back to the moon?
Yes, I when your email arrived, so I informed, and it sounds very exciting. I couldn't figure out the purpose for the journey, but it's nice that there's a woman in it.
Well, there's lots of areas of the moon we haven't explored yet, like the poles, which we discovered that there's like water ice permanently, that's in these permanently shadowed areas. That's one of the reasons. But that's a good question about the reasons. Is there a reason to send humans into space? And I personally think it all comes down to one question. That is, do you think humans should expand into the solar system or not? And what's your thoughts on that? Should we have settlements on the moon and Mars and the moons of Jupiter and the moons of Saturn, et cetera, et cetera?
I'm not this sure. I think we have so many problems on Earth right now we have to solve. I'm not sure is it the best time to go in space, but someday I would love it.
Now, you mentioned we have all these problems on Earth to solve. What are some of the top few that come to your mind?
I don't know if I get the question right. The biggest problem you mean?
Yes. What are the problems that you think we should solve here on Earth before we start exploring in space?
The climate crisis. We may have to adapt our lifestyle and maybe regenerative energies. We have to set a focus on this. And the wars. There's many war on the earth, and of course, COVID crisis. Get a better vaccine and get people to get waxed.
What do you see as being a solution to the climate crisis?
Yeah, we have to change our lifestyle. I'm not sure that be vegan is maybe a good start, and use other energies, not as a regenerative energies, not fossil. That's maybe a begin, but our mind have to change.
Well, that's interesting about our minds have to change, right? Because I think if you look at the Apollo 9 flight to the moon, it was the first time we had humans actually orbit the moon. And the astronauts were so excited, not about the moon, but about looking at the Earth and seeing oh wow, the Earth is like really small and you know, kind of just a ball hovering in space.
Yeah, that
And
must be.
I was wondering, you know, maybe the best thing we get out of space is this kind of a new mind shift of, you know, Earth isn't like this huge indestructible thing, but is actually a little bitty dot hovering in space. And I was wondering what you
Yes,
thought about that.
yes, we take ourselves too serious, and it must be breathtaking see the world from space, the Earth, and that would be a reason why I would travel to space, but only temporary, and only if I could take my family with me. I would never go permanent, because you can never go outside in space. You have always stay at the uh, Raumschiff. I don't know the English word. Space shuttle. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but do you think that if we could give like a few million people that perspective of what space was like, that that would have any effect on sort of the mind shift on people's perspective, or do you think it would just be something that would be enjoyable for uh, those million people, but really wouldn't have an effect? What's your thought?
Unfortunately, I think they would take a picture for Instagram and then they go right ahead like before. I would hope it had an effect, but I don't think so.
Hmm. But it from our little analysis that we've done here, it seems like there may be no solution to the climate crisis because people won't change until they have to.
Yes, like I said, I'm not very optimistic because we this lifestyle is the style we used to like so many years, and nobody wants to give his privilege away. So myself either. It's hard to change the whole life, but we have to. Not only one, two persons, the whole world have to change his minds. But it's very difficult. I don't know. I don't have a solution.
I know I went to go get coffee the other day, you know, and they give me a cup with a plastic top and, you know, the thing. And then, you know, I'm going to drink the coffee out of this one time and then throw it away. And then we're going to basically dig a big hole in the ground and toss it into it. I mean, it just seems, and the same thing true like the milk carton or you know, the little container that the fruits or vegetables come in. I mean, they still work, but we throw them away afterwards.
Yes, but these little things we can change. We can buy the vegetable that not looks nice. We can use a permanent cup for coffee. We can use a permanent bag to when I buy stuff. These things I do, and I would wish other people would do it too. They should um, not there should no one use cups available. No?
Hmm.
You have to
Yeah.
take your coffee in the store or take it in a permanent cup. It's not that difficult.
Yes, true. And if you take it in a store, you might get to meet new people and
Yes,
it have like social implications too.
yes.
Um, let's see, where do you see humanity in 200 years from now? If you were to like look out in the future and, you know, based upon everything you know, what does humanity look like in 200 years?
Oh, it's a very difficult question. There are two possibilities. The one is that we solve the problems we talk about, and we have a great future with maybe more technology, better technology, and more kindness to each other. Or we have we go back to non-technology and go through many wars, maybe supply wars, because there will be more problems to supply all the people in the world. So I'm not sure which way I prefer the first way, but I don't know. It's a hard question. It's a world situation right now.
It is. Well, where would you like in your, if you could change the present all the way to the future in 200 years, where would you like to see us in 200 years?
Yeah, as I said, that we solved the problems, and maybe the Vulcans come to us. But I don't know. The climate crisis is the biggest problem in my opinion, and I wish that would be solved in 200 years, and we find a way to get energy without destroy the planet.
Some people think that that might be actually space because, you know, if you look at the sun, it's producing energy in every direction, but only a low fraction of it falls on the earth. So like, for example, if you want to know how much of the sun's energy actually fell on the earth, one way to think about it is if you created a sphere the same size as the earth's orbit, and you compare that to the cross section of the earth, then the ratio between that surface area and that cross section is like 1 to 700 billion. So like using just like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the sun's energy has produced everything that you see on Earth. So we almost have unlimited energy, and we could figure out how to harness more of the sun's energy. I was wondering what you thought about that. That space might actually not be a luxury, but as something that would actually be part of the solution.
That would be nice, but yeah, there is we need the technical solution to get this energy, because it's only there is not enough. We have to catch it and find a way to use it for us. But my English is not good enough to explain it better. Sorry.
No, that works out well. Well, how about this? Let's say we do create a colony on Mars, a settlement on Mars, where people live and have families, and that this happens in the next, 50 to 100 years. And while you said you wanted to go to space but come back, let's say that your child or your grandchild decides, oh, Mars is like so cool, I want to go and live on Mars. And it's 200 years in the future, and it's your great, 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 great granddaughter who's been living on Mars her entire life. She's now in like high school in a history class doing a project on the 2020s, just like we might do a project on the 1820s. So imagine she's looking back at this decade. What do you hope happens in this decade that's worth remembering in 200 years?
So we came always to the same topic because of the actual situation. It's still that we solve these problems and change our mind, maybe wake up that we have to change our lifestyle to save Earth. But maybe also that Star Trek overtaking Star Wars as the biggest sci-fi franchise. That would be nice also. No, that was just a joke. Yeah, at the moment I can't be very optimistic. Sorry, it's so much happen on the world right now. So I always come to this topic. Sorry.
No, that's so true though. It's so true. I mean, it's so hard to change your own personal lifestyle whenever it's like so comfortable and easy. And it's like, I mean, used to they asked you at the supermarket, at the grocery store, do you want paper or plastic? They don't ask anymore.
Yeah,
You just get the plastic.
But I want to, my son, he's only 3 years old, and I would wish that he has this comfort too in 50, 20, 30 years, but there's no, I cannot be sure how his life would be. Yes.
Yeah, it's difficult. Do you think his life is going to be better or the same as yours?
I would love when it got better, and the same as yet was not so bad, but I angry, I'm afraid that it goes better, worst. So I'm not sure. It's hard to see future because there are many things happened, I never couldn't expect like this pandemic. It was I never thought I would be in a pandemic, and then it was there. So you never know. Yeah, you never know what happened. So I don't lose my hope that it's maybe gone better.
That's true. Well, Sandra, those were all the questions I had. Was there something you wanted to talk about, or did you have any questions for me?
No, my English is not good enough, and I'm so very nervous.
I personally think your English is wonderful. So
thank you.
Well, thank you so much for participating in my project. And I hope this is something that generations that are yet to be born, like your son's children's children, might look back on and kind of get a little bit more flavor of what the life was like and how we were looking at the future.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, well, you have a good rest of your day and take care.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.